Yes. Welcome to a new episode of a new series. Welcome to Housecore. Not just a style of music anymore. Housecore is a concept. It's a design principle. On this series, we're going to be doing building. The concept is coming up with designs that can be repurposed and readjusted. Now, I am using a simple Minecraft mod pack. This only has AI in it, because I'm an addict. It's got some building options like not enough wands, some tools to help things out. But in terms of building blocks and in terms of world gen, this is 100% vanilla. Nothing extra is being added. We'll be using vanilla blocks as principle, and we will be designing from there. The house core concept is design a core housing unit that can be expanded upon, that can be repurposed, that can be reused for whatever you see fit. Today, we're going to be working with a simple inverted design that will get bigger as it gets taller. Primary block is going to be quartz. And I think we're going to work from there. Now, first thing I want to do is find some good space. This is a nice little kind of valley gap of plains in between two big forests. I think it is primarily roofed forest over here. I think on both sides. There's a birch forest over farther that way. Yep. Roofed forest. I'm saying birch, but mostly roofed forest in the area. I think this is a good clearing though, and I'm going to just kind of find us a nice spot. I want to set it up against the forest, but I don't want to make too much constriction of space where we have to evacuate a whole bunch of trees. First things first. 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to 4, 5. We're going to make a 5x5 hole. We're going to put some flooring in for a bottom level. We're going to have a smaller ground level and a bigger second floor. And I think that is going to be a good footprint for us to start with. Now, I want to actually work with a nice white block. We're going to get quartz stairs, quartz slabs, and this is basically going to be our builder's palette right there. And we are going to use variants on other white blocks. We actually have the benefit of working in Minecraft 1.12, which means we have things like polished diorite that we could use for a little bit of pattern, a little bit of pizzazz added to things. We do have snow blocks and white wool and whatnot, and this is not going to be a completely white house. Thinking pillared quartz might be a really nice addition also. But primarily it is going to be, let's get this and put this in the optional category, this collection right here. So actually, no, let me leave that there. What I'm going to do for right now is we need to get a base foundation. If we're going to start off different, let's use our optional blocks and let's put some polished diorite down. Have an interesting floor that at least contrasts somehow with the walls. We are going to be using, let's do the front door opening out into the valley. And we can make use of these pillar blocks on the corners. Move some of this grass out because it is going to get in the way. And we are going to go up. Now, you're saying this is only a 5x5 on the inside. That is going to be kind of cramped. You are correct. It is going to be somewhat limited. on the inside. And I'm doing this out of a single block design specifically because I think you could redo this house with any kind of design you wanted to. I mean, block-wise, any color palette. You could make it out of wood and logs. You could make this out of whatever you choose. And within this actual case, we're going to be doing a little bit of that. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the corners. These half slabs. We're going to be giving it a little bit of visual interest, making it look a little less like a boring box. And adding some functional windows without glass. Okay. I'm going to do another stack these. Get this back wall finished. Whoop, that is the wrong block. And then all the way across. I'm actually going to do one of those right there above the door. Okay, so now we have our base, we have our foundation. One thing that could be done, add a little bit more visual interest to things, is if we do this. Actually, no. Let's leave it as default blocks. That's going to make more visual sense. We could widen the footprint out a little bit on the sides. And actually, let's not put that there. Add some more support to what is going to be a very vertical structure. Put that there. We're going to put that there. And I'm going to bracket on this side. There we go. So we have something that looks like this. Actually, I'm wondering, and I think I'm going to go ahead and change it, because I think it'll look better. Yeah, I think it's going to look better with more support. Let's go that route. Privilege of being the builder. You can change your design however you want. And I do want to remind you, do not feel compelled to be restricted to just quartz. Like I said, if you want to replace these supports and the corner pillars with logs, do that. Make the rest of it out of wood and glass, and I think it would be a wondrous thing. Now, if we wanted to go even more interesting, we could break this out right here and actually put some, what's the word I'm looking for? More ventilation kind of openings right here, but we want some good center solid walls because we're going to be doing some stair designs. Specifically, a big chunk of this middle space we are going to want to do as a door up. Now, before I forget, controls, turn that evil thing off. Let's see. I think I'm gonna leave that as grass. Okay, so the basic principle is an inverted tower design or an inverted stack design. The concept of an inverted vertical design is that it gets larger as it goes up, which means the second floor is inherently going to be a lot bigger than the first floor is going to be. This is one of the reasons why, let's get that builder's wand, we have these support struts out here so that we can support. That is wrong. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is actually limit that way. This will come over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get those stairs and we're going to repeat and repeat. And I am going to get bed. Let's sleep real quick. Sweet dreams. Okay, awesome. So we're going to get these stairs and repeat them up over the corners like this. I think what I might do is swap the outside design. For now, what we want to actually do is we're going to get this. Can I reach it from here? No. I'm going to pull this across. We're going to make that a little bit narrower. I do not actually think that's going to work. Redo those. We're going to use an opening as best we can. Let's see. We're going to end up, I think, having to do this. Do a little bit of that. And again, you could use slabs and space this out just a little bit differently if you so chose. Good. You can get some column right there. And get some column right there. I think we're going to need some there. And then we're going to do yep, you can do that there. Our columnar block. Now I believe we have enough clearance. There we go. And one thing that we need to start discussing is, let's see, either lamps, glowstone. Right now, I think glowstone is going to be our best bet. I'm actually just going to put that right down there on the palette. I think there and there are going to be two very good choices. Okay, so let's get my tool chest and swap it away. Actually, nope. Okay, I need a swapping one. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get one block of that. And I am actually going to change out the outside border. This is going to be a fairly strange looking house. We are going to give purpose to. It's our outside walls, and then what we're going to be doing is some more. That's going to be the inside height, which means right about there. Actually, no, let's go one higher and clamp it off there. So that's going to be 4 blocks. There. Going to be simple, futuristic, in my mind at least. Sleek design. Not a lot of excess aesthetics. Now, that being said, if you want some extra patterns in the walls, you could very easily install a mod like Chisel and make use of this design and just add a little bit of chisel pizzazz, as it were. So now we can start looking at slabs are on the outside. You can see how big the footprint is going to end up being on this outside floor. You're starting to really make use of the space that we have available to us higher up over here. And then I'm going to do some ordinary blocks in the corners. I'm not going to put a stair on that yet, but it's going to end up having one. And there we go. Now what we are actually going to do, we want at least 3 blocks of clearance here, if not more. Put one there, one there, put one there, put one there. We're going to do the same thing in all of these. I want to repeat the design downstairs. Got the louvers in the corner. I don't know what else to call them, so I'm just going to call them louvers. I know that's not right, but whatever. Whoop, nope. I am breaking all over the place. This is going to be solid wall. I see this as a house design that you can actually replicate using, as I said, many different materials if you wanted to. You could use it for many different purposes. That could be a simple outpost. This could be a primary base, and you could expand into other adjacent territories if you wanted to, or into other adjacent spaces. Redo the base area, this bottom pedestal, on a lot right next door, and then you do a connecting walkway between each building. This is a kind of a template that you will be able to use to let's do, oh, that's the bottom of the stair. Actually, let me worry about this afterwards. I have ideas. Okay. So now we have our space. If we wanted to, we could redesign it. We have this nice border around the outside wall to make use of. You can see into the outside. You can even back up and see down, lower to the ground. If you wanted to, you could leave gaps right here to see straight down. And I think that would actually be a good thing. That way you can stand right here and see straight down as somebody's walking up to the front of your actual house. And I think that'd be great. You do a little bit of railing around here if you wanted to with fence line. There's a lot of different options to make use of, but there is space for bed. There's space for bookshelves. You could even do stairs and stack a second floor on top of this if you wanted. Let's put one of those right there. And then we're gonna alternate as best we can. Because of the mathematics of the building, we can just bounce around like this. We're going to be pulling this across right like this. Get that builder's wand. And then what we want to do, find a nice, let's look at glass and see what we've got. I'm thinking in order to give the space a little bit of color, let's go with some light blue. Can't remember stained glass planes work horizontally or not. Oh, they don't. It's gonna have to be a full block. Let's do light blue stained glass. I'm gonna go put this on the palette as an optional. And then what we are going to do is find some nice corners. There's one there. Let's finish the actual roof. How about? Okay, awesome. I'm going to put that there. And then let's make these a little bit bigger. And then we actually have one there. What I'm going to do, go inside. we again have a distinct lack of lighting. So what I'm going to do, the center block right there in the middle. That's close enough. In the middle will work for me. This is a peaceful map that I'm on right now. I'm not worried about monster spawns. So we are now going to make this look a little bit more visually interesting, less awkward as having half of a glass block poking through your ceiling. Upside down stairs placed just like this, and suddenly you actually get a nice little fixture. It has a repeating kind of a pattern around the outside, makes it look real nice. You don't get just a big stretch, boring, smooth ceiling. I really like simple uses for stuff like this. Upside down staircases. I think it is a lot of little tricks like that that get overlooked quite often by builders. I think I'm gonna have to rethink that middle skylight. Let's see. We need to do this one, this one, this one. And I have an even crazier notion. Let's put that there. And we could, if we wanted to, go even farther and put glowstone along the outside to illuminate the sides of the house. That means this can be placed with that. Let me go sleep real quick. Daytime once renewed. I'm going to give just a little bit of a half slab skirting around the edge of the roof here. A little bit of a lip, a little bit of an overhang. Now, if you wanted to, you could do a little bit of extra on the roof. Most folks would probably never see this. But still, you've got space to play, to expand. Now, when you're back here off in the distance, coming up to your house, you can see just a hint of those crenellations across the top. Those little kind of oscillating patterns up there. Makes it visually interesting, but otherwise the building is very simple. It's very flat. It's very low to the ground, despite the fact that it's actually a two-story building. The bottom floor can be repurposed for a lot of other things. We come inside. I have been using a ender chest as an actual tool box. You can get this, put it right there. Still opens because there's stairs above it. Over here, we can break this out. And let's see if we can actually get a chest. Over here, we're going to get a furnace. One on both sides. That should. There's stairs, but it doesn't actually work. But here's what we do. We put the furnaces over here. We put the chests over there. There's your storage. There's your house. Functional space on either side. And yeah, very, very usable otherwise. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. There's a lot of other design choices you could make with this kind of house, a lot of things you could do. But in general, I think it's got a lot of possibility. Once you move in, a lot of different things could be done with the space. Now, I could see merit in changing up this central design. Getting these stairs. Going like this. And doing more of a half slab landing. If you wanted to make things even a little saucier, you could do that. Get the plain white blocks. Replace, and have even more front space right up here near the door, so there's even less congestion. If we look at doors, we have a lot of options. We could do iron door to match with the general theme of things. It's going to require a pressure plate, but that's fine. You can put one down, put one down. We now have a house. It is lit, it is doored, and it is functional and usable. I like this kind of supporting thing. Now you could, if you wanted to, stretch this out even farther, put even larger of a top section out here. If you wanted to, you could complete this design like that. You could half slab there to make that look a bit more refined, and some people might like that. It looks a little toothless if you don't have something there, but that's okay. And these bottom corners do look a little bit larger than they're supposed to. The louvers. What I would say is, actually, no, we can't do that. Never mind. Put a half slab in there to finish that design off, but this does restrict your viewing down to ground level a bit more. So let's say you wanted to expand out a little bit more. We're just going to go across like this. Across like this. We're going to pop out some of, actually, I'm going to leave that there. And that is enough clearance for a door. Cannot put. So what we'll have to do is get a, put that there, put that there. Let's get a button. Oh, actually, no, we will want a wood button because it's going to give you a longer press time. Now we actually have space out here that could be had as patio space. You can stretch this out a little bit if you want to. Let's see, we're going to do something a little bit different. Actually, those can be full blocks. And then there's going to be that. And these will stretch out like it's a support system. If you wanted to, you could put a pillar back here. Then you get something simple. A lailing, and you have a back porch of a type. If you wanted to be really daring, you can lop off the extra so you can see down a bit better. But you have an outside space that you can use and you can expand on. If you wanted to take this a step further, then you could put a support here, build out 3-block walkway, and then start building the house all over again. You could even stretch this out if you wanted to 5. And put right about in the middle, I would say. Let's put this stuff up. That is... Pillar, pillar, pillar. I would actually even break that and do pillar. And then right here, you could do stairs. Let's go with pillar. The stairs. I would even say, actually, you can do it all the way around. And do so, because then you can hide this and just do that. Matter of fact, if you want to keep it steady with the stair pattern, you just put an upside down stairs there, and you have this little bit of a kind of a deco thing. Then you start building another house right here, right next to it. Don't do the front door. Keep it sealed up. You could use the bottom floor for storage, other purposes, whatever you want. Not do that. That looks silly. Let's put that there. So yeah, it is expandable. It is expoundable. You can do many different things with this design. You could knock out a wall here and a join, just like you can here with a door. You can do a second floor stacked on top of this instead of immediately doing a roof. And I think that would be really, really cool. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with this house core. And I think it is glorious. So I hope you will consider making use of it. Make it with logs. Make it with sandstone. I think it'd be glorious with sandstone, actually. And I think it would work really well. Think about it. Think upon it. I'm going to knock that off. We're going to leave our back porch right here. We can step onto it, go inside. Got a button we can use to open that door if we want to. We got a front door we can use, and people can come visit. This has been the White Project on House Core. I really hope you'll come back to this next edition of House Core. If you've got ideas, if you have a situation for a small house, a large house, a tower in a valley, something in a forest, maybe a tree house, let me know. I want your suggestions. If you like this series, please make sure and hit that like button down below. Give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell icon so you don't miss anything new. Otherwise, I will catch you folks on the next episode of House Core. Bye-bye.